let's kick off with the market recovery that we saw yesterday, an 0.8% gain for the market. But would you say that the market still remains quite frail, given the fact that we still have the September deadline looming 2 weeks away as it stands today?
Yeah, thanks, Samantha. Yeah, I mean, largely we saw the market gain 86 basis points as against the Monday and Tuesday declines we had, and indeed the persistent declines we've been having over the last half year. The gains really are largely as a result of the price movements in Dangote stock, the Dangote Cement stock. As you are aware, Dangote Cement stock represents about 20%, between 20 to 23% of the market capitalization, and any movement it makes would largely drag the exchange along with it. So looking at other stocks, I mean, you see most of the blue chips depreciating over the period. So largely, you say while there's an appreciation, investors still remain cautious about the market, and we're still seeing that the market. I mean, we're still waiting and seeing that the market is still yet to pick up from its downward trend.
Now, Dangote Cement sitting below that 100 naira market at 99 naira, 99 kobo. It did gain 5% yesterday, but still trading at a significant discount to when it first listed. Some would ask why, given it's adding, 12 million metric tons of capacity by the end of 2012. It has an aggressive Pan-African expansion plan. Its Pan-African assets will be included in its second half results for this year. Why are investors continuing to put pressure on the stock?
I mean, only yesterday we saw the price break the 100 Nigerian naira mark. He also had late trading in the day, which pulled the stock back up. You speculate that the investors are beginning to see that the stock is really underpriced, and maybe some late interest in the stock. The company recently released its half-year results, and which beats basically the analyst forecast. So and also, of course, they've announced their plans to set up new factories across African countries. So there's an aggressive movement on the company actually to expand across the West African continent, and also play along with its global peers, the Lafarges and the rest. So it's interesting to see how the stock would play out today. You tend to think that it hasn't, the market still has a downward trend, but it will be interesting to see how the stock picks up today in today's trading.
Let's talk about the Pan-African expansion plans. Do you believe that Dangote is growing in a sustainable manner?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Clearly, the company has an aggressive strategy to meet up with its peers in the international markets. There's no, the promoter himself is a very aggressive businessman. You tend to think that over the years you can see the progressive and geometric expansion of the company. It's only recently added, consolidated its subsidiaries into one entity, and you can see even from the financials that it's a growth company. It's aggressively growing. It's aggressively growing, and it's growing. It's growing inorganically as well. So you begin to appreciate that there's potential in the company, and as an investor, you tend to think in the medium to long term. There's value in the company. Dividends have been significant over the last couple of years, and I think going forward, it's going to remain that way, even if not better the results that it's had in the previous years.
And it'll be interesting to see as that company expands whether it looks to list on other exchanges. Do you think that's likely that it might be looking to list on, say, a Johannesburg Stock Exchange, given the fact that it is building capacity here in South Africa?
Indeed. It's actually expected that in the process of its expansion in the other African markets, that there will be some listings and capital raising activities in some of the other more established stock exchanges. Definitely, you want to look at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange once he expands his operations within the East African market region, and clearly you'll be looking at even the other more established exchanges in in the Western world. So definitely, I believe that's a line in which the company is expecting to toe.
Chidi, let's move on to the banking sector. One of the day's top gainers there was Ecobank. It rose over 2% to 2 naira 80 kobo. Now, management of Ecobank holding a conference call yesterday to give forth their rationale behind the acquisition of Oceanic Bank. That's for 55 billion naira. Where do you see the synergies between these two companies, and what are ETI's shareholders likely to get from this merger?
Well, it's interesting. That is interesting. ETI has bid for Oceanic, and Oceanic basically represents the value in Oceanic actually is in their customer deposits, it's in their branch network. Clearly, before the intervention of the CBN, Oceanic was amongst the top 5, top 7 banks in terms of asset base. I mean, you tend to think that the Ecobank, ETI, with its subsidiary in Ecobank, is looking to basically expand its operations and is trying to leverage on the operations of Oceanic. So I think in terms of a value proposition, you tend to think that the ETI is trying to leverage on an established network within the country to basically expand his operations. Ecobank was basically operating in the second, well, what we classify as the second tier of banking operations. With the Oceanic transaction now, you tend to think that the company would push up and meet up with more in the likes of the more prominent banks like Zenith, the GTBs, the Intercontinentals. So yes, I think that represents the value. They've basically offered shareholders 55 billion in worth in stocks in ETI. So I think they've got a good bargain there.
Chidi, just one last question: are you buying into any of the stocks of the buyers when we come to the M&A activity? All the banks, the rescued banks that are merging, proposed mergers there at this stage ahead of that recapitalization deadline, on the basis of the structure of the banks and the position that they'll take once these mergers do go forward?
Well, clearly, I mean, on the side of the acquirers, you tend to think that there's going to be some value proposition on the eventual medium-term outcome of these mergers. You have the access banks, the FCMBs, who have all tried to pick in some of these banks which were intervened in by CBN. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, some investors would really risk a position in some of these banks to try to see how it plays out in terms of the value they get at the end of the day. So on the side of the rescued banks, it's beginning to get clear that I mean, most of them are trading at real significant lows. So it will be interesting how it plays out in the medium to long term, really. Yeah. I mean, you just tend to think that most investors just take a position in either of these sides of the divide, and you see how it plays out in the medium term.